Welcome to another episode of the Apocalypse. It seems the beast's dreams are all coming true. The cover of Time magazine. Something the beast has coveted his entire life. I wonder why all of a sudden the beast has achieved this feat. Fear! And only fear. Yes, this is the thing that should scare you the most. This is the thing that should prove everything I'm saying about how much we should be worrying. This is the thing that illustrates the abject fear on CEOs, oligarchs, press people especially, etc. Donnie's wanted to be on the cover of Time his entire life. He's been, threatening people to make it happen for years. He finally gets it now. That should scare you the most. More than all the pardons. More than the FBI director resigning. More than all the indicators that are right in your face that it's over. And I mean America. And we about to be looted. And you gave it to him. Thanks, Rubes. So yes, that should scare you the most. That Donnie got the cover of Time. What does that scream loud and clear? I'll tell you what it screams to me. It screams the people at Time magazine are scared shitless. That's the one that really told me the Time magazine thing. Okay, everyone's really scared. You see, Bezos offering up $1 million for Donnie's inauguration. They're all lining up to kiss the ring. Every single one. Everyone is scared. But what Mr. Bezos doesn't know, I don't know if he read the message the other day. To do business in America, it's going to cost $1 billion or more. You think that doesn't apply to you guys that are already here and worth billions? It applies to you too. So if you think you're going to get off for $1 million, a little cheap price before the real margin call comes, you're wrong, sir. By emboldening this, you have only emboldened him to take more from all of you. This a beast. I know all you wise CEOs with the yachts and the bullshit don't see it because you're blinded by the dollar signs. I get it. And you don't take it seriously until it comes knocking on your door. So many of you out there, including the CEOs and oligarchs. And it will come knocking on your door. And you ain't getting off for $1 million. The price tag's $1 billion or more. Mark it. Might as well deduct it from all your bank accounts right now. So, Donnie gets his dream. Time magazine, all of a sudden, after all these years, gee, I wonder what inspired that. If you weren't afraid yet, or you weren't worried yet, when you saw the Time magazine thing, that's when you really should have been worried. That was the big signal. Okay, everybody's scared. We just gonna heap tribute upon Donnie Shitbags. Because we know what he likes. And maybe he won't throw us under the bus later. You people have not been paying attention. All you people heaping tribute. It doesn't matter. Donnie wants to throw you under the bus. He will. He's done it over and over again. I've never seen an entity throw so many people under the bus. People that, just he was all about the week before. What was that hideous woman's name that was running around with him right before the election? I can't even remember her name. She was out within a week and a half or 2 weeks once rumors started going around that her and Donnie may have had a little extracurricular activity. While Donnie's like, yeah, it's getting a little too obvious, honey. I gotta say goodbye, you know what I mean? So he threw her to the curb. So many women and men, they're the flavor of the minute for Donnie. Next week, 3 weeks later, right under the bus. Over and over again, yet all that heap tribute. Mika and Joe going there to kiss ass and beg for their life. None of that matters. If he feels like coming after you, he's going to. It don't matter what tribute you've given him, what praise you've given him, how you beg. You'll learn. You'll all learn. So what else happened? Why am I on camera right now? Well, first of all, the Time magazine should have scared the shit. The Time magazine thing should have scared the shit out of everyone. That's the nail in the coffin that should have told everybody out there, yeah, everyone's scared shitless. The press, CEOs, oligarchs, everyone. But why I'm really on camera is I saw something this morning, a headline. South Korean Trump got impeached. Let me give you the context. South Korean Trump tries to impose martial law. The South Korean people and South Korean government, the rest of them say, hell no. He rescinds the martial law within hours or within a day. They say they're going to impeach him for it, trying to overthrow the government. He issues an apology the night before the impeachment. I'm sorry, I was a bad boy. I'm sorry me and my oligarch buddies tried to overthrow the South Korean government for Vlad. So one party boycotted the impeachment. One party in South Korean politics boycotted the impeachment. Therefore, there weren't enough votes to impeach the president. Then he was right back to talking shit the next day, touting the virtues of his invocation of martial law, aka trying to overthrow the government, a democracy. So I guess after South Korea and Trump began talking shit again, and the people and the government of South Korea said, we're making the same mistake America did. Yeah, and I got on camera, remember that, and said, don't make the same mistake America did once the first impeachment didn't work. Well, I guess they changed their mind now that they've seen South Korean Trump does not have true remorse and has not changed his agenda or mind. Funny. When a traitor shows you who they are, believe them the first time. But, So I guess they decided to impeach him again. This time the vote was something like 290 to 95 or something like that. Overwhelming majority votes to impeach South Korean Trump. I see the headline. Well done, South Korea. You've did a change of course for your own benefit as opposed to your own detriment, like America did. Because it's too late for us. Don't be like us. No country should be like us right now. We have 30% that are rubes in this country that handed their country over to Vlad and foreign oligarchs. Don't be like America. I'm glad you listened. Glad you saw. I'm glad you all realized, we're making a mistake here. We don't want to end up like America or North Korea, because we know what it's like. Those dumbass Americans, they don't know what it's like, 30% of them. We do. So let them play the dictator game over there. They'll see how fun it is. We already know how fun it is. And we ain't interested. Praise Jesus. So they impeached him. What happens now? Because I actually read the article and got a little bit of details about how their government works. What happens is a judge has to review the impeachment, and it takes about 180 days or something like that. And then a final determination is made whether to remove South Korean Trump or not. As of now, I believe the article said, if I'm not mistaken, South Korean Trump's duties have been suspended. And the underling, the vice whatever, will take over. The duties until the 180 days or whatever time frame is over, where they review the case and decide whether South Korean Trump gets to stay or not. So there's still a chance. There always is for the devil, isn't there? There's always hope for the devil in this world. He's still a chance he could stay president. So it's not final yet, but a message was sent. Now South Korean Trump's going to be running scared for about 3 months, however long it takes. He'll be a good boy, or maybe he'll get defiant. And he put a defiant statement out against the impeachment, what happened to him. Because, boy, these traitors don't like consequences. They get real mad because you know what's about to happen to those traitors when things like this happen? They got to worry about getting their legs broken by the mob that financed them. You heard me. So they're real desperate. That's why you see the desperation. That's why they're willing to sell their soul at every moment, with every breath, with every statement. Their life depends on it in a lot of cases. Or they're just part of the thuggery and the club. But heavy people finance these candidates for office. Talking billions, millions of dollars that are necessary. You think that's going to be all good people throwing up those millions and billions of dollars? No. Some of those people are going to be mob, depending on the candidate. And if you don't do what they need you to do, something might happen to you. So there's a chance for South Korean Trump that he may stay the president of South Korea, and there's a chance he may not. Again, I reiterate, South Koreans, I know you don't need to hear this and no one sees it anyway, but I'll say it because it needs to be shouted into the ether whether anyone hears it or not. These things need to be said by someone. Don't make the same mistake America did. Get rid of your traitors quickly. Get rid of the cancer quickly. Don't hand your country over to foreign oligarchs and thugs and the mob. The way America did. Please, for your own sake, because it's too late for us. And I'll be honest, if I had a passport, I do have a passport, but if I had the means, I'd be out this country so fast your head would spin. And anyone that does have the means to get out of this country, that sees what I see, you got passports, you got means, I suggest you use them. I'm not joking. I'm not even if you're on the side of this stuff, because it's going to come to your door too. Don't worry, it always does. Little children, it always does. Us true students of history, we know that. Despite whatever, how many zeros we got in our bank account, despite the, future tax cuts I could get if I were rich, or deregulation for my business, I would still say, yeah, I might not have a business if this entire country is looted and it turns into some weird version of fucking 1939 Nazi Germany in many different ways. How am I going to operate my business in that environment? I might not be able to. Or I might get gunned down on the street. Because once Donnie was elected, well, that was the go-ahead. You notice the kid that shot the CEO, he waited till Donnie won the election. It was like, it flipped the switch. Okay, I can do this. My people won. Elon, Thale, Donnie. What am I trying to say here? What am I trying to say here? If you can get out of the country, get out. If you have the means to do that. I'm seriously recommending that. And I've never really been this serious about it. The first term, again, there were still some checks on his power. There are none now. You're seeing CEOs and oligarchs pay tribute. You're seeing reporters and press kiss his ass that despise him. You're seeing Time magazine give him an interview and the cover. Out of nowhere. Something he wanted his whole life. They ain't playing this time. This is not the same thing you've seen for your whole life in politics. This is different. I promise you. And if you haven't seen enough this past 8 years to convince you that this is different, there's a greater significance to this. And none of it makes logical sense. None of it at all. Should tell you something. Take the blinders off and just be still and feel. This is different. You see Thale smiling in all these camera interviews he's doing lately, all grease-faced and smiling, despite all the billions. Can't get the grease off his face. There's a reason he's smiling in all these little camera things, talking about Armageddon, talking about the old order is dead. This is the new one. That last election that we lost, despite all the fortune we pumped into it, last attempt to overthrow the United States via the rubes and greedy CEOs and oligarchs, that was the last dying throes of the old system. That's Mr. Thale's perspective on your country. The grease-faced oligarch. That's his perspective on your country. Some of you may see that as a good thing because you're on that team, or you think you are. You're not on that team. No one is. They'll do with you whatever they feel like, whenever they feel like. And it's not a good thing. And it's going to come to your doorstep, even though you're on that team. And you know, this needs to be said. It really needs to be said in another video, but I'll get to it eventually. Again, I thought this is all supposed to be a liberal thing, what's about to happen. Yet I see it all wrapped up in right-wing conservatism, nationalism. So many people told us all the wrong thing. And I explained in another video that this is the time for judgment. You've heard a lot of Christian people say that over the years. And you've heard a lot of people cite the reasons. What are the reasons you've always heard? Oh, well, all the gay sex and drug addiction and this and that. The alternative lifestyles that most of the Republican Party are involved in, by the way, as they rail against it in public. No. You're wrong. We all want to point to Sodom and Gomorrah, all the Bible teachers, all the people, all the Christians that have an audience. It's Sodom and Gomorrah. No. That's not why the judgment's coming. It's because of MAGA. Because MAGA is following someone they shouldn't be following. Guess what's part of MAGA and conservative politics and has always been? The church. Despite the fact that conservative politics is quite the opposite of Jesus in almost every respect. So you've heard church people and Christians shout this shit for centuries. The whole Sodom and Gomorrah shtick. No, that ain't the problem. That ain't where the wrath is going to be directed. The problem is MAGA. Again, I'll say it again. All of his rapes, defamations, blasphemies, constant blasphemies, lies. We think defamation is intentional lying about someone or something. All of it is treachery right on television. You got to watch it. You got to watch as he and his family chilled in a skybox, basically, with food and drinks, partying, laughing, joking, as police officers were beaten. So you people can't ever say you back the blue or care about cops. You care about cops until your political cult leader loses. Then fuck cops, they're standing in our way. We want to make him a dictator. There's a lot of money behind this, a lot of different groups, a lot of evil. It was all put before you. The church especially. You ignored it because it had an R next to it, but I'll expound on that or expand on that in another video. This isn't the time for this. I digress again. My point is, the judgment ain't going to be directed at the gays and liberals. That's not where the anger will be directed, or that's not why the anger exists. It's because you all know what you're doing. You know what you're following. You don't care because it keeps you in power. That's it. You think he doesn't see that? He doesn't know your heart? Anyway, the judgment won't be because of what they've been saying for so many years. It's going to be about this other thing that they're all about, because it keeps their institutions in power. That's all. That's a big no-no. In the entity's mind that you allege to believe in. Anyway, I need to end this thing. I need to get to the issues. So yes, the judgment, it won't be for the things that you've been told it's going to be for so many years, because all those same people that told you that, they all voted for this. They all helped make this happen. Oh man, are they in for a rude awakening? In this life and the next. It ain't going to be good, man. The other thing I wanted to talk about, the NRA got infiltrated by a Russian spy. We know all that. So did a lot of other right-wing organizations, politicians, etc. We watched Wayne LaPierre years ago, under scrutiny, people looking at the finances of the NRA that you rubes have been sending your money to. Another group of conservative men and women that took the opportunity to take your donations and buy whatever the fuck they felt like with it. despite making $1 million salary. Mr. LaPierre was making $1 million salary via your donations every year, and then he stole more of your donations because Mr. LaPierre did not want to touch his own money to buy $20,000 suits. He wanted to use your money on top of your money that you were already paying him for his $1 million salary per year. If I was making $1 million per year, I wouldn't be asking anyone for money for fucking suits. You people love to be conned. It's that simple. You love it. You love WWF, WWE. You love to be conned. Kolfage and Bannon stole your donation money for the wall. You still love it, MAGA. You still cheering them on. I bet you cheered when Bannon got out of jail, right? After he stole your fucking money, you fucking rube. I could go on and on with the different conservative entities that have grifted you, but you need your team to win, so you gotta... Oh, I didn't get grifted. What are you talking about? No, you got grifted hard. And you're still getting grifted hard. So, again, LaPierre and the other guy, I can't even remember his name, Phillips or something. One more time, LaPierre was making $1 million salary, yet he needed more of your donations to buy his, suits that cost in the thousands. More than you make in 6 months, one of his suits. He couldn't even use his own salary for that. Disgusting. You're making $1 million salary for doing nothing. And then you got to steal more to buy expensive suits. You people are incredible. The greed is incredible. So now, Mr. Phillips, I believe, and Mr. LaPierre have to pay a total combined over $6 million back that they stole, plus interest of your donations. That wasn't a liberal that swindled you, son. Those people you railing against every day? That wasn't a liberal that started that build a wall scam. That was Kolfage and Bannon. And I could go on scam after scam after scam. But you love it. You want to be conned. You want to be lied to. You want to be deceived. You begged for it. You thirsted for it. You lusted after it. You love it. So one more time, Mr. LaPierre now has to pay over $6 million, him and Mr. Phillips. I don't know who pays how much, but will they ever pay it? Probably not. Or maybe they'll just use your donations to pay it. Whatever grift they're running now that you're sending money to, like a true rube. So many of these organizations and so many of the claims by the nationalists, I guess I'll call them instead of the Republicans at this point, are just, so many organizations are complete fraud. Full of complete grifters just stealing all your money. Jet setting around the world wearing fancy suits. And, I don't want to touch my salary to buy those suits that you people are already donating to me. There is no grift like the right-wing grift. I've been talking about it for years. I'm a smart guy. I could have easily jumped on it. I've given you the story. I just can't do that. Because I don't want to sell my soul by lying to people for money. Never. Don't want to do it. Because I know the penalty that I will have to pay for that. And I'm a bit more mature. And I know this temporary little satisfaction to women, to cars, to houses. That's fleeting and temporary. And although it would be quite pleasurable, I still can't lie for a living. And spend people's money on $20,000 suits after they pay me $1 million salary. So the NRA is yet another grift. Congratulations, MAGA, Republicans, nationalists, whatever you people are. Created another organization that's just abject fraud and thievery. And you've been conned again. Well done. What was the other thing? We had the South Korean thing, the LaPierre thing, the Time Magazine thing. Well, I think I've covered everything on this episode of the Apocalypse. I think those were all the issues I was interested in right now. But let me reiterate this one small point. The Time Magazine thing. That should scare you. That was the real indicator that motherfuckers are scared. They put him on the cover finally after all these years. And they knew he wanted it. He didn't hide it. Everyone paying tribute. Does this seem normal to you? It's not. Always remember the Time Magazine cover when you're wondering, is Nick panicking here? Is he being overdramatic? Is he wrong? Just go pick up a copy of Time as you ponder. Thumb through it as you ponder whether I should listen to the person I've been listening to or the things I've been listening to or my own thought processes on this, because maybe I ain't too clear on it. Maybe I still got one foot a little bit in the right-wing grift machine because I listened to it for too many years or watched it or believed in it. Thumb through that Time Magazine and think about the fact that Donnie's wanted that cover for so long. All of a sudden now they give it to him. Fear. And what is fear? From a great quote from another movie. Maybe it came from somewhere else before that. I don't know. I heard it in a movie. Fear is the mind killer. Kills you before you even start. Fear. You can't smell it. You can't feel it. You can't feel the spirit in the air. It's still there regardless, and you're witnessing it all play out. Boy, so many things happening so fast. Just since that election, it was like that day after Donnie won, a switch was flipped. We're watching it all play out, and we're at the point where, Bezos is throwing $1 million, initial ante on the poker table, hoping it's enough. It ain't gonna be enough, guys. Sorry. Price is $1 billion or more to do business in America. Until the next episode of the Apocalypse. Have a good day.